Good day, and welcome to this special edition of Spotlight we call GM's Corner, a regular series of short interviews with LMOA's General Manager Steve Hurwitz about what's on his agenda and what's on his mind. Good morning, Mr. General Manager. Good to be with you once again.
Same here, Ron. It's great to be back and have a chance to discuss important topics.
All right. Well, here we are just past the the Ides of March, and the March winds doth blow, but people who are looking ahead, such as yourself, look forward to summer, and summer and the reopening of the new pool. How's it going? How's construction going?
Considering the horrible construction weather we had almost all winter, it's going very well. We're still on schedule for opening on Memorial Day weekend. Saturday, I think, is May 25th. And that'll be a big day for us. So the pool is taking shape, moving right along. We're putting in tile now, and that means once that's done, the pool deck will be poured, and once that's done, we'll be able to line the pool, white coat it, and it'll it looks like a pool now.
It's rolling,
but it doesn't look like a pool that would hold water right now, but it will very shortly. It'll have the real look of a pool with that white bottom.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to that. It looks like a great design. It fits the ground beautifully, and we're sure people are very much going to enjoy both the visual and then all the nice things that come along with the pool.
Mm-hmm. And the pool and the whole operation this year, here's a big change, will not be by LMOA itself, but rather by a contractor. Why is that taking place, and what's the contractor going to do?
It's a big change for us. We've, for decades, had our own, we've hired the staff and interviewed, managed, and directly supervised the staff. This change will actually save money. We're budgeted for somewhere between $10 to $12 to maybe even $15,000 savings compared to the expense of having our own staff. What it also does is bring in all the expertise that comes with a pool company. That is what they do. So the pool company will manage the pool. They're doing the hiring right now. In fact, we've given them the list of all of our lifeguards from last year, and they're using that as a main resource. And then they will completely supervise the entire pool operation, the lifeguards, including the guard in the building where people walk through and come into the pool, and then the lifeguards on the deck. They'll train them and supervise them and so forth. Our job is to provide the pool and the equipment that goes with it. And in my experience, good pool companies are very rigid about that. They give us a list of what's required legally and with great probity to make sure we have all the safety equipment in place and working. The list is extensive, and we're very pleased to be able to comply with that and then cooperate with them as they run the pool. We'll interact with them throughout the whole season. There'll be a very intense period at the very beginning because they'll spend a couple of weeks getting set up for their operation. And then we look forward to it really being a very favorable thing for everybody. I would say the average person in the pool coming and going and enjoying the pool won't notice any real difference. And then I think we'll maintain this. I'm sure we'll maintain the same high quality of service, but it is nice to have that level of professional experience involved. By the same token, we've taken the time to have a couple of our senior maintenance staff people trained as certified pool operators, kind of as backup, because now that we have a contractor, we want to be sure we know what we're seeing and we can interact with the pool company at the highest level. So that training has been accomplished and done. I will say that the snack bar will continue doing that, and we're looking forward to pleasantly surprising the community at the snack bar.
Oh, okay. Andrew
Kerper, our F&B director, has got some things in mind about that facility, and I won't say any more.
Okay.
But I think we're going to make people happy with the snack bar.
All right, we'll wait on that. This outfit, SCM out of Charlottesville, perhaps they have experience. This will go seamlessly with things like the swim meets, the league swim meets that the lake does occasionally host here. They're equipped to manage all that, perhaps by their own previous experience even in town.
That's amongst the things that they know how to do. And in fact, we had a very productive meeting and follow-up with swim team representatives. They're a huge part of the community, very important.
Yeah.
And those swim meets bring an awful lot of people, and we look forward to the same great experience they have during swim meets and so forth. It's you've got to watch where you go because there's people everywhere, and it's really a wonderful thing.
Yeah, sure is. Staying with the water theme, our favorite water company, Aqua Virginia, has this Citizens Advisory Council. And Lakers are on it, and apparently there's room for more.
They are. I'm grateful that we've got 5 or 6 volunteers already, and we're looking for more. It can be maybe as many as 9 people. And the important part about that is it's a chance for the consumers, regular residents who are interested in having the best relationship with Aqua, to convey anything they'd like, and Aqua has promised to follow up. There'll be minutes and very business-like follow-up. So there's a chance for people to express concerns. Aqua has huge infrastructure here, pumps and heavy machinery. Sometimes they stop working for a brief time. Sometimes they get noisier than they're supposed to. Sometimes Aqua's buried pipes get exposed. So there's a chance to convey all manner of things for Aqua to follow up, in addition to the official way and formal way that we do it. And then anything that's on their mind. And Aqua's been very forward-leaning in the saddle about, hey, bring it on, and have a full council. So again, we very much appreciate the people who have volunteered, and we look forward to that being very useful for everybody.
Yeah, all right. That's on the one hand, one can say it's certainly a good community relations effort on Aqua's part to reach out to its customers for that. And I guess the cynic might say, oh, well, it's perhaps just that, community relations, thank you, nice, pat you on the head, go away, and we go on with our normal work. But so it's good to hear that they are sincerely interested in following up. And I think that's a help. So.
Indeed, they certainly seem to be. The email traffic about it is regular, about setting up the next meeting and communicating to the existing the current volunteers, and then adding to it as possible. So there may be a little PR piece to it.
Well, sure.
But of course, they're a big company, and they have every reason to do that.
Well, they should do it. They should. They basically, call the essence of good public relations is first doing right, and then second, getting credit for it.
Yes, indeed.
People often put it the other way around, think it's just spin. But a real PR practitioner would say you've got to do right first. So anyway, and then even in winter here now, with the leaves off the trees, exposes some properties and sites to things that some folks have some questions about where they should park their RV, now that places on the property are no longer obscured by leaves during winter, and there are questions about it, but RVs are permitted in the bylaws, are they not?
They certainly are, and the rules, I wouldn't say are convoluted, but you've got to read them to understand them, and I encourage people, if they're interested, to go online, go on the webpage. All the policies are there, not too hard to find, but basically owners, residents who have RVs, trailers, equipment, just anything like that, are required to put those types of items in the least conspicuous place possible on their lot. It just so happens with the shape of some of the lots, a fairly large RV won't go anywhere except in the driveway in front of the house. So we have had people contact us about, hey, is that really legal? I don't like the way it looks, and so forth. So what we do is we go out and investigate in each case, and if there is space on the lot where the person could move that RV or trailer or whatever it is, we advise them of that. We're looking for compliance, not punishment. And so we'll continue to do that. But it is useful to know that it is allowed, it is in our bylaws. And if someone doesn't agree with that, there's always an opportunity to email me or email the board via contact the board on the webpage and suggest a change to the policy. But first, read the existing policy.
Okay.
That's important.
Okay. And by the same token, much the same holds true for the trash and the recyclable toters, does it not?
Yes, indeed. They are supposed to be in the least conspicuous location possible or screened.
Okay, yeah.
So, you know, that is an important consideration. And it would be great if a lot of people took a look at what their current practice is and considered that. You know, enough said about that.
Okay.
It's an important function here, and we get good service from County Waste.
Right.
And it's an important household function, you know, moving that stuff in and out. And people are often looking for convenience. That's all understood. It would be great if people would take a look at if they could move their toters to a less conspicuous place or even screen them.
Okay, sure, yeah. I've got neighbors who do that. Director Mike Harrison's been leading the strategic plan process, which apparently has been quite successful in participation by a number of Lakers. We've touched on that in the past. And we stand now, the board is beginning to have some work sessions on what all the input has been.
Yes, indeed. The document now exists in draft form after a series of very successful and well-attended sessions. And Director Harrison has put that together in draft that the board will start reviewing, in fact, this week. I've had a look at it, and it's a fine document in terms of what people really want in the community. Mm-hmm. And that's really important for just about everything we do. The budgeting, you know, what dues are appropriate, needed to provide certain services, what's affordable, what's appropriate, what do people need and want. And so it's a really important guidance document, and the effort that's gone into it is going to pay off. I know that speaking for the board, that they appreciate people coming forward with their views, and I know they're looking forward to working with the document to finalize it.
Yeah, and work sessions are that board and open to the public, to the residents. Now, there isn't room in there for direct dialogue with the board at that time. It is their work session, but certainly provides an opportunity for folks to follow up with comments either in person or orally or in writing.
Yes, indeed. And in fact, people should feel free if they attend and they have a thought either at that time or later. They should feel free to email the board directly, which they can through Contact the Board, or even better to me. We put that all together and get that stuff to the board, so separate from the meetings and some of the procedures that really have to be in place so that the meetings can be done in the time allotted and done in a business-like way. There's still plenty of opportunity to make inputs separate from any personal representation by talking at a board meeting. I think that's important because the people also then have a chance to think about things.
Yeah, sure.
And there's no input that isn't useful.
Okay, all right. Well, to wrap up, you know, who doesn't like a good conspiracy theory? And a lot of them abound around the lake from time to time. And here we have one sort of current thread on Facebook I call Our Game of Drones, that LMOA has this fleet of drones to rather surreptitiously observe residents' property or possible whatever conditions it wants to observe. And I'd like to know where these drones hangared and who's licensed to fly them.
You know, those are all good questions. I had the same questions myself. I was first getting ready to go away on a visit, a reunion with old friends from home from 50 years ago and more, when all of that kind of erupted. And my first thought was, we have an Air Force here. I wonder if they need another person to join the Air Force.
You're the pilot.
With my background. Well, it turned out, of course, that we don't use drones at all. And I've joked to a friend who can take a good joke that we don't use high-flying Air Force airplanes or spy satellites up in orbit either to look. It's not done that way at all. There are various means. We have a field representative from the ECC compliance office who's very good at that. He goes around and looks on a regular schedule. The ECC itself, when it's out and about, they'll report on things. And although some people might consider this negative. It really isn't. Sometimes neighbors will see things in a neighboring yard or
Yeah.
across the street that
Yeah.
really is a violation and unsightly, and they don't feel comfortable knocking on a door and confronting a neighbor, so they report. I look forward to people taking the view that if we come to them and say, hey, we've got a report that you have such and such, and it's really against the rules, that they take it the way it's intended, which is, first to begin with, advisory. It's something that is number one against the rules, and maybe also, of course, unsightly, and that they take that to heart rather than worrying about the source of the complaint. But there are no plans to buy drones or use drones or high-flying spy aircraft
Okay.
or satellites.
All right. Well, thank you for shooting that down before some Laker resident does it himself with the gun that he's not supposed to have either. So there. So on that note, we thank you for your time. You have been watching GM's Corner with LMOA's General Manager Steve Hurwitz here on Spotlight's GM Corner. So we invite you to, cordially of course, to tune in to more of the GM's Corner, see you again in about 2 weeks, and to the other broadcast group offerings here on Spotlight, the rest of our broadcast schedule, up on channel 977 or on YouTube. So until we see you one way or another, on behalf of the LMOA Broadcast Group, I'm Ron Krause. Thanks very much for watching, and good day.